Now, I really think this device is changing the gaming world right alongside the Steam Deck, and I'm going to tell you specifically why with the ASUS ROG Ally, and we'll start this with the Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor. It comes with 8 cores and 16 threads. It really pumps up the game super well. Mixed with the 16 gigs of the DDR5 and the 120 Hz and 1080p display, it really leaves room for competitive gaming, something that I have to say isn't realistically possible with something like the Steam Deck or other handhelds. Mixed with the SSD and the fast load times and using Windows, something that I'm personally familiar with instead of Linux, out of the box, it really feels like you're getting a quality PC in a handheld gaming device factor form. Now, my time spent with this has been eye-opening, and the fact that you can sit down and use this as a PC completely with a keyboard and mouse, just with simple docking station, just really blows me away. You can do the same with other devices like the Steam Decks, but like I said, the Linux thing just gets complicated at times, and you simply just want to use your devices in a way that you're just used to with plug and play, and that makes it, for me, worth it with the ASUS ROG Ally in the end. Now, I've had the ASUS ROG Ally for a few weeks, and what sticks out to me compared to, say, something like the Steam Deck is just plain and simple. This thing is just more powerful. At times, I struggle with handheld devices like the Steam Deck to get that sweet 60 FPS, and I'm not a graphics snob by any means, but for me, that's just kind of the minimum. But the ASUS ROG Ally completely demolishes that in every single power-hungry game I've gotten to test. Games like Cyberpunk 2077 for me ran super great without having to sacrifice graphic quality too much. Heck guys, you can even play competitive FPS titles like Overwatch without any problems whatsoever. As you guys know, these games get competitive, so you really want to have the best performance, and I could easily top at around 75 to 80 FPS on Overwatch with a crap ton of things happening on the screen, and that's with the settings set to about medium. It's honestly impressive. There was one game I did have an issue with, and that was Diablo 4. Now, when I first opened this out of the box, and the first game I actually downloaded was Diablo 4, I actually had a 2-hour session I didn't record. It was just me having fun, and I played without a hiccup. I was like so impressed. But days later, after an update to the device, Diablo 4 specifically was a bit laggy. I'm not sure what happened, but this was the only outlier. I went on to play more games like Red Dead Redemption, and once again, this proved to work solid in a big open world game like this with a lot going on. Finally, The Witcher also did super great. I was able to play this at 60 FPS with good graphical settings. Keep in mind, I do want to say that I used FSR on most of the games, and I was always trying to find that sweet spot to make sure I was right at 60 FPS. Guys, I was so impressed. And finally, I want to touch on the general comfort and the buttons, which I can all say pass with flying colors. There's been a lot made about the sticky buttons or the general discomfort of the ASUS ROG Ally. I'm not here to give you the same answer as everyone else because that's not how I felt. This device seriously felt comfortable, if not even more comfortable than the Deck or the Switch, two devices that I've spent hundreds of thousands of hours on, and honestly, to me, this is the best feeling handheld I've used. Mixed with the buttons feeling really tactile and clicky and responsive in a good way, there are honestly almost no complaints from my end on that, pretty much that criticism. The only thing I can say is maybe the software with Armor creates a little bit of a pain in the butt, but even that I got used to. This handheld is very user friendly, especially compared to other devices in the market, and I have to say, if you're someone who is just generally knows what you're doing around a computer, you're going to know what you're doing here. This handheld in the end is a great investment for a gaming device, and if it's your sole device for gaming, you honestly will be pleased in the very end.